Thank you for being here. I will talk about making sequels. I'm not sure if successful sequels because we haven't published the game yet, but definitely about our experiences with making a second part of a successful game, of a successful franchise. I've prepared a lot of material and we don't have so much time, so I will be probably quite hasty, but a little spoiler, this is what this presentation is about too much material and too little time. So let's start with the history. In 2012, we made a game. The game was called Puzzlecraft. It was an iOS game, free-to-play game. Really like relaxing game of puzzles, farming, mining, like a mix of matching game and a town simulator. It won the Best of App Store in 2012 for new ways to play. It was really good, reviewed on IGN. We got really lots of fans. So basically, it was a success for our company and for players. Because I will talk to you, I will tell you how we approach the sequel. So to do this, I will have to tell you something about the game itself. Just a simple, in a short introduction. The game had quite simple gameplay loop, gameplay cycle. We visited farm and mine, gathered resources there, and used the resources to build buildings in our village. And then the buildings improved the farming part. So, the basic gameplay loop, but it was very addictive, very relaxing, and for the players who wanted something more than just, a small, relaxing gameplay, there were other layers like tools, sort of one-time bonuses, workers that influenced your strategy. So it was a game, like many other successful games, based on a very simple and addictive gameplay with layers added for the players who wanted to find something more. And we published the game. It was very well received. And and then we published one update with some extra stuff. Basically, there was this part in the end of the game when the gameplay got slightly boring and we added some new stuff there, some new mechanisms, finding treasures. But it turned out that the design and code was totally not prepared for updates. Like, we haven't thought about it making the game. So after this one update, we had some other project on the way, and basically that was it. So we published a game which was a success. We released one update, and we weren't able technologically and as an organization to support the game anymore. So the game is still available, but we are not actively supporting it anymore. We got tons of feedback and ideas from players during the last 3 years because people are still playing Puzzlecraft. And, the feedback and the ideas were about everything. Like, we got people saying, I'm resetting the game and playing again, and this is my 10th time, and I still love it. And some other were saying, we need some more puzzle elements, new plants, new animals, because they are cute, we like them, we would like to see more. And some other players were talking, I have this crazy idea, I would like to an endless tower in the game because I like the game so much, I just want to play it on, and I want to share this idea. And other players were saying, we would like some other puzzle boards, like I guess get this idea for an alchemist or a sky or some sea voyages. So we were overwhelmed with feedback. This was really an interesting idea because so many people cared about the game and shared our ideas with us. So in 2013 we had an idea to make Puzzlecraft 2. It seemed like a logical turn of events. Yeah, let's make a sequel. The first game was a success, so what can go wrong? Yeah, let's make Puzzlecraft 2. We got all those ideas, all the feedback, they were wonderful, and at the same time they conflicted, yeah, one with another, because the feedback came from different players, like different continents, different styles of playing, and basically it made no sense. So we get this question, how to make a sequel? Yeah, we've never done it before. And what to do with all those ideas, this heap of ideas that, you know, there wasn't a game in it. They were just ideas how to make the game better. So we started looking at the market, and we found some benchmarks. And definitely there were sequels we liked. Probably every one of you can name one sequel that was okay in your opinion. And probably every one of you could name a sequel that was not okay. We could. Yeah, we looked at the market and said, yeah, that was a great sequel. And this sequel, oh, not very much. We didn't like it. And we asked ourselves, why? Yeah, why some sequels seem as okay and other sequels are like not really. So we liked sequels that were bigger and deeper than the original game, but that were staying true to their core. If the sequel wandered away from the core mechanism, the core feeling of the original, it was usually not a good sequel. It could have been a good game, but not a good sequel. So we ask ourselves, what is the core of Puzzlecraft? And this is, yeah, from our kickoff meeting, like an actual, yeah, design stuff. And we got three like legs, three different like basics of what Puzzlecraft is. First, gameplay. It is a game based on matching mechanism with some extra element, long chains of puzzles of the same type. It give you some bonus puzzles, and this is the cornerstone of the gameplay. And we were sure we have to keep it to make it still a Puzzlecraft. And the feeling of the game was very relaxing. People liked it. Said, "Oh, I like playing this game because it's not stressful. It's just like a nice flow." So we decided that to stay true, every decision player makes must be a good decision. Like, you don't have to choose between two options. Everything you do is okay. And everything you do, every action you make, progresses the game bit after bit. It may be like fast progress and slow progress, but there are basically no bad choices. It's not a hard game. Yeah, it's a relaxing, casual matching game. So this is the cornerstone, the core of the game. And then we started having ideas, yeah? New, exciting ideas, like let's add a new puzzle board. We have farm, we have mine, but we need something more, yeah? Everyone is saying, yeah, add something more, some new puzzles. So yeah, that was a great idea. And then we thought, maybe we should have more than one village, more than one town, because people were actually resetting a game, removing it from their phones, reinstalling it, and playing again. So people do this. So maybe we should allow them to do this without uninstalling the game. And we should probably have more puzzle types. Like, pigs are okay, chickens are okay, but yeah, let's have a hippopotamus, yeah, that would be cool. So that's what we thought is okay. And we started working on it. Like the new puzzle board, we had many ideas, but two of them we seem as worthy. And one of them was a special board for crafting tools, you know, like puzzle craft. Maybe we should add some more crafting to it. And the other idea was sea voyages, because basically sea is cool, yeah? And we have farm, we have mine, underground. So a sea would be a nice diversion. And basically, we decided to add sea to Puzzlecraft because, you know, we both farm and mine tell some kind of a story. The farm puzzle changes as the season change, and the deeper you go underground, the more dangerous it is. So we could think of many interesting stories that happen on a sea, but all the ideas for the crafting board we had were just dull. Yeah, it was not interesting. So we said, okay, let's sail. Let's at a seaboard, and we got many ideas. Yeah, like thousands of iterations. So maybe not thousands, but really many different approaches. And we started with something abstract and ended with, well, an actual sea voyage. We added a ship puzzle, and you sail with the ship. So a different, on the same gameplay base, a different mechanism and totally different feeling. That was really cool. And then we started working on extra voyages. These are also our notes from the kickoff meeting. And we knew that we have to cater for the needs of all those players that reinstalled the game. So we needed more than one town. And on the other hand, we were not sure how to avoid boredom, because playing again and again and again in the same village could probably be as just a little boring. So we decided, who was playing Candy Crush Saga? Yeah. Everyone knows this string of puzzles that form a map. So we decided to do this way, but that totally different. Yeah, we had those two approaches. One with villages forming like a trail you follow, and the other approach was with a map and player choosing where to play. We decided to do the second approach, and it failed, and we do this like in Candy Crush Saga. But yeah, that's basically the story of how we make games. You have some idea, try it, and then it turns out okay or not okay. So yeah, these are these months of working on how to fit all those villages and towns on screen. We are pretty okay with the final approach. It's really beautiful, yeah. So you will probably see it. And then we moved to new puzzle types, and part of it was easy. Like we are adding the seaboard, so totally new look, new puzzles. That was just playing, easy. And then medium, because our puzzles, there are worse puzzles and better puzzles. So from grain you get vegetables, from vegetables you get fruits. So what was the problem? From fruits you get flowers, stuff like this. That was easy. And then we thought maybe we should add some variants. Yeah, apart from chicken, maybe we should have turkeys or ducks. Yeah, that was a bit harder, because with animals and plants, that's okay. You can name some other vegetable. Yeah, you have a carrot in the game, so you can add what other vegetables are there, like cucumber. Yeah, it's easy. But in mine, when you have silver, different silver, chemistry is not so allowing, yeah? Silver is silver, so we made some approaches, but it just didn't work. And on the sea, that was a nightmare. So name another sea animal that is producing ink, yeah? We got the squid, but different sea animal producing ink, and the resource gained from the puzzles is ink. So yeah, we decided let's stay with just plants and animals, yeah, as variants. And then we spent really another weeks on prototyping many different animals. And at the very beginning, we thought that we would have 4 lands, basic puzzle craft, Africa, winter, with different sets of animals. But we found a better solution. All of those puzzles are in the game, or most of them, but they are not grouped in different countries. You just uncover them playing. And yeah, and it all led to a new gameplay loops. The small loop is still like playing on puzzles from farm to mine to sea. Every puzzle board has different costs of entering, different gains. So that loop was really okay. And the medium loop was playing puzzle boards and building tools, buildings and workers. So basically that was the first puzzle craft. And then we added the grade loop. That means completing towns and improving your kingdom, building castles and many properties across the kingdom. And then we added different layers of complexity for players that like completing, collecting, competing, you know, the hardcore types. So this is how it works. You pay gold to enter farm, then you use food to enter mine. In the mine you can find runes, and to go to the sea you use both resources from the farm and from the mine. So every time player has a choice. If he's short of some kind of resources, he can enter a puzzle board to gain more. It works brilliantly. Yeah. And Towns versus Kingdom, when we started working on the game, we thought that the kingdom element would be really important. But as we worked on it, it turned out that which is quite obvious, like in hindsight, that the main gameplay happens in towns. And you visit the kingdom just like for a half a minute to gather taxes, build something, and then you go back to your town. So we have these big towns that you spend a lot of time in. This is this basic gameplay for people who like to play over and over. And then we have small towns with some extra mechanisms as a diversion. It is okay. And then, as I said, we thought about the players who like something more. And we added some extra layers, like unlocking new puzzles and completing badges and gaining achievements and collecting collections from treasure chests. So yeah. And some extra small new features that would be not a problem, like painting buildings, moving them around your village, or having a cool coat of arms. Yeah? Do you see the problem? Because, we didn't. Yeah? The growing complexity became to be overwhelming. Like, the game was huge, started to be huge, and we were just beginning. It was just the phase of the first prototypes, yeah? And we're like drowning in features already. And then we made some first playtests. And it turned out that players were slightly confused. So we helped them by introducing like missions and quests. So another feature. And then we started talking with our publishers, and they said, social elements are really cool, you should have them. Like leaderboards, maybe sending gifts, or missions completed with friends. And we said, yeah, I can see your point. These features are cool. We'll try to add them, yeah. And our company started to grow, because the Puzzlecraft was made by a team of 5 people, and Puzzlecraft 2, it was 13 people, so like over 2 times more. And we planned the game, the Puzzlecraft 2, for a really long lifetime. So we started, because we knew that we have like thousands of features, and you need long time to get the value back, yeah, and players need time to enjoy all those features. So yeah, just a second to think about the costs, yeah, because the production suddenly started to be very long, and the team was great as for our standards, and the organization had to change, because you had a big team, so keeping a vision suddenly became a problem. In Puzzlecraft 1, the whole design was kept here because I was the only designer. And now we have like 3 designers and lots of other people. And so what works for us is like hands-on days. Every month when we are finishing a sprint, for a day or two, everyone is just playing the game. And it works brilliantly because everyone is updated, can see how the game really works, can feedback, and we all share the feedback and discuss it. That's okay, the best way to keep a vision coherent. But still, you have to have meetings and updates, yeah, and even some task management system, which was totally new for us. And even we tried to document things. This horrible graph, very complex, not bad, but very complex graph is, these are this is one of our villages, like which building unlocks which building is needed to, yeah. So we started having documentation. I'm not sure if it's a good idea, but it helps sometimes. But basically, it works because most of the core team that worked on Puzzlecraft 1 is still working on Puzzlecraft 2. And basically, that's a very important lesson. To make a good sequel, you have to have some people that remember the first game, all the mistakes and all the ideas, so this works. So with a project this big, it's no wonder we are thinking about how to monetize it, because we need money to make games, yeah? And so we looked at the market, and there were some benchmarks, like timers are a must, and premium currency, yeah, you need premium currency, and you need some big and small money things, and we started implementing it. We implemented timers, and they sucked, totally, because they were not suited for the game. The game is all about grinding, and suddenly we said, okay, and now wait. Okay, you can play now. It was not a good idea. And we replaced the timers with grinding. In the moments when we wanted to say to the players, just wait a bit, instead we are saying to them, collect 100 of puzzles, 1,000 of puzzles. It works the same, but you can keep playing the game, and the basic gameplay is still relaxing and fun. And you know what's funny? We did the same with the first Puzzlecraft. Then we forget it. We looked at the market, introduced timers to the Puzzlecraft 2, remembered that we replaced timers with grinding in the first Puzzlecraft, and we replaced timers with grinding. So lessons learned twice. Yeah, but the lesson is you should stick to your core. When you know what your core gameplay is, you should stick to it. Just don't add too many things. You can be aware of the market, but you shouldn't copy what's on the market, but adapt it to what's your core. As for premium currency, we have 4. Yeah, the resources, coins, runes, and influence. It works more or less. Runes are something new in Puzzlecraft. And they are quite okay, because they are new, something exciting. We have some backstory with them, like a magic element is introduced to the game. But it was lots of extra balancing, like lots. So looking back, I have mixed feelings. I think it works really okay, but I'm not sure if I would be ready to do it again if I could rewind time. And as for other free-to-play elements, we have lots of small rune things, and they work okay because we have you can grind runes in games. So with every premium currency we have, the players can earn them in game by playing. So we think it's okay, and we use rune things as giving strategic choices. We try to avoid paywalls. We just make spending premium currency part of the strategy you have in game. You decide either I spend runes on this, on that, or on that, and it works okay because you are tempted, but you're not forced to spend premium currency. And I'm not sure if we have at this moment enough fun stuff for the big spenders. This is what we are still working on, because yeah, sometimes you just need to buy a Ferrari, yeah? And we have advertisements in game. This is something what we learned from our other game. Advertisements in the game are voluntary. It is always your choice as a player to watch ads and to earn runes. And it works super, because it's like, I don't have to, but I can. I could use like 10 runes more, so okay, let's. But it is your choice. Every time it is your choice. These runes are like seen for free, and we earn money on them. And then you have those runes, and you start spending them. It's really okay. You should try this. So, as you can see, in 2014 we learned a lot, and I tried to like organize what we learned. First, there was lots of trial and error. The timers, yeah, I've said about it. So I will tell you about our problems with castle, finished villages, and discovering puzzles, and workers. Because, yeah, these are fun cases. The castle, yeah? When we started, we thought we should have a separate scene when you like upgrade your castle. But we couldn't fit it into the whole gameplay loop, so we said, okay, maybe we should have a building on the kingdom scene, and you just upgrade this building. But then we didn't know how to do it, so we decided, okay, no castle is needed. But then we thought, but on the other hand, for all the players who played Puzzlecraft 1, the castle is sort of an icon, yeah? You just play the game to build a castle. So now a castle is a kingdom level building, upgradable. So yeah, that was fun. And then finished villages. When you finish a village and move on to start your other town, first the villages were playable. You could still play in your finished villages, but then you got those heaps of resources. We didn't know what to do with them. They were just hanging and staring at us. So we said, okay, no, let's just, you move from a village, we close it. There's no gameplay there. But then we thought, okay, but what's about the constant growth that is the foundation of Puzzlecraft? Yeah, you basically feel like you are losing something. So okay, maybe you could play in this closed villages, but in a very restricted way. Just we will give you missions, and you just complete the missions. But that was totally not satisfactory. So we said, okay, you can play in closed villages, but you gain no resources, because the resources were a problem. But it still was like, not very fun. So we said, okay, yeah, let's make it playable, and you collect resources, and we just found a way on what to spend the resources. So basically, the story here is, when you have your core gameplay and you have a problem with it, just solve the problem and don't abandon your core gameplay. What we did here, yeah? We abandoned the core gameplay, and it was not fun. And we came back after like, probably 4 months to the same point, but we finally just solved the problem we had. We should have waited and said, okay, we know the problem is there, just let's wait. At some point in time, we'll solve the problem, and we did. With puzzles, that was a long story, but basically, first, when you found a new puzzle, you could use it, but you didn't know what the puzzle, what features the puzzle have, and it was not fun, nobody was interested. So then we made the info about the locked puzzle visible, and you had to like grind to unlock the puzzle. This is an interesting story, but quite a long one. So here we made no mistakes, but we did like 14 iterations probably, and we are really satisfied with how it works. You will probably see it. And with workers, in Puzzlecraft 1, it was like this. You have 2 workers for carrot, 2 workers for grain, 2 types of workers for chicken, and stuff like this. But now we have like 50 puzzles. So we said, yeah, maybe every puzzle should have those two workers, like two workers for chicken, two workers for a turkey, two workers for a duck, two workers for a goose. No, it doesn't work. Like who will handle 200 workers, different icons, so much work? No, it's not a good idea. So we said, okay, maybe we should group the workers, like workers for birds, workers for big animals, and then made some specialization for them that you unlock. It was like a football manager. Oh, and it was not good. So we just came back to the idea that you have those two workers for a group of puzzles, but you can train them to use every new puzzle, but the interface part is on the puzzle side, not on the worker side. So yeah, we finally found a solution to something. And with interface, oh, it's always a hard story, so I'll just show you many iterations. We're desperately looking for some, yeah, a way how to show your backpack or stuff like this. But it's okay. And then something about old habits. In Puzzlecraft, we have this problem in Puzzlecraft 2 that players totally ignored missions. Like, missions, not interested. And we said, like, no, you know, it's an important feature. We spent so much time on it. Like the missions, yeah, pay attention to them. And players were like, no, not interested. And why? We found a way. In Puzzlecraft 1, like, you gain experience from playing and from building buildings. And we were so accustomed to it that we weren't even aware of it. And only one change was needed. The solution was that buildings stopped giving you experience, and you can only gain experience by completing missions. And it was like, oh, so basically it's like in every other game, you complete quests to gain experience, but it took us so long to find the solution because we were so accustomed to what worked in Puzzlecraft 1. Sometimes you can turn a blind spot on something because you are accustomed to it. Like here, we changed the way the gas puzzle works because we found something that was more fun and more interesting for the player. But old players were confused and said, okay, there's a bug probably because it works differently. But we were sure that the new way is better, so we just spent some time educating players, and it turned out okay. But sometimes you are opposed to something because it's different, not because it's worse. Sometimes it's better, but it's different, and you are wary. It's good to remember that. And then we have all those new puzzles. But you couldn't just show them to the players in the first village because you spend most of your time on puzzle board. And what you see is how you perceive the game. And people remember that Puzzlecraft 1 was the game with chickens and carrots and pigs. And if we replaced all those puzzles with something new, yeah, that wouldn't be the same game. So basically, we just introduced one new puzzle in the first village, and then the player unlocks new puzzles. So it's we don't impose anything. We just give a chance to find something new. So, you know, in 2014, there were many surprises. Yeah, one was a nice one. Like the icon was accepted at the first take, and with our other games, it was like 30 approaches to an icon. So that was a success. That was a cool moment, and I want to share it with you. And other surprise, yeah, it was about reusing art. Because reusing art is fast, it's pretty, yeah? You start with really nice graphics because you have graphics from your first game and you're making a sequel, so it's natural that you use the same graphics. But, you know, there's a perception bias. When the feedback we got in such situation wasn't about gameplay. People came to us and said, the willow is ugly, we don't like the willow. And it was just because it was just a sketch. And all the other puzzles were finished because they were from Puzzlecraft 1. So suddenly it was much harder to do any prototype because people would see the discrepancy, the difference between the graphics from the first part and of the game and the sketches from the sequel, and making prototypes started to be really a pain in the neck, because our graphics had to just spend time on improving sketches that were just for a prototype, because otherwise we got a bit bad feedback. So, and on the other hand, where is the barrier between comforting and boring? Yeah, you have to use some art from the first part for the continuity's sake, but on the other hand, if you use too much of it, it's like there's nothing new in the game. So many tough decisions, and it was surprising. We didn't see that coming. As for reusing code, it's fast, it's working, it's totally not ready for any new features. So when you reuse your code, just you have to plan some time to do some rewriting. It will happen, it's inevitable. Just be prepared. As for reusing design, it's a great way to start. Just we have this new game. Just copy the first puzzle craft and see if it works. So it's a fast proof of concept for code, for art. As for that, it's brilliant, but it's not ready for the new features. Yeah, because it's a complete design of a different game. And you know, from a designer's perspective, it's hard to throw away. It's like so much work. And now you have to scrap it and rebuild it. And now it's 2015 and we are still working on the game. Yeah. So now, Captain Hindsight, we could have started with fewer features. Maybe we didn't need so many features at start, probably. And we could have prototyped faster, like don't use the old graphics. Just make sketches of things from first puzzle craft for the sake of faster prototyping. That could be an interesting idea. And maybe we could have focused more on the core gameplay, because some of the ideas were a bit off. And we need them for a product with a longer life cycle, but maybe we shouldn't have started with them. It's hard to say, but these are the questions that we are asking ourselves now. Because the long lifetime is something that you have to keep in mind. The upside of a game planned for a long lifetime is that you have a long lifetime. Yeah, you have a long months or maybe years when the game is bringing you money. That's something good. But the downside is you could be bored. The players could be bored, but you as developer could be bored with making the same things over and over. And to avoid the boredom, you need more features. You need new and exciting things for the players and for yourself. So longer lifetime, that means many new features. And new features means longer production. So yeah, so choosing features for the release is hard, because it's not like you have to prepare everything in advance. Yeah, you have to start with something and then have a plan for adding new stuff over months and months and months. But finding the base that makes it a second part of a game, a sequel, and not just a bigger upgrade, this is a hard part. We made some decisions. We are really satisfied with the result, but we are not sure if they were the optimal decisions, yeah? As the questions I said before. So you need some risk management in such long projects. And this is what we used. We use analytics software to learn how players play the game, and it's important both for design to see, for example, what tools are used, when people use this feature or this feature to make the game, to improve the game. But it's also important for the business to see what people like to pay for, what people do not like, yeah, what kind of people play the game, and with the analytics software, we find some key parameters that we keep on server, can update in the game on the fly without pushing new updates to the App Store. These are things like prices or promotions in in-game store, and it's also useful. You know, you can react to what happens. And we decided to soft launch the game. It's our first soft launch. We hope to learn a lot. but it also means that the production cycle will be longer, yeah? So basically what we learned working on the sequel, and some of those stuff were surprising for us. First, which is good, if players like your game, there is a reason for it. And if you can identify the reason, like find out why people like your game, you can replicate it. So understanding the first part of your game is a key to making a successful feature, one of the keys. And if something works, don't fix it. Yeah, don't change the core mechanism for the sake of the change. Keep to the core if the core is okay, and stay focused on the core. Every time we strayed away from our core gameplay, we had to go back, and we spent some extra time and extra money on it. So stay focused and be aware of the market, but do not copy. Try to adapt what works on the market to the reality of your game, because every game is different, and not all mechanisms are like copy-paste, yeah? Like with the timers, yeah? We shouldn't have even tried timers because we knew from Puzzlecraft 1 that we should use grinding in the same places. But yeah, you live and you learn. So you need to watch your step and don't be overconfident. It's very easy to feel like, oh, I can do this. I made the first game and it was a success. So what can possibly go wrong? Yeah, and if you get overconfident, you can spend too much time, too much money, or even made some really bad choices if you're not careful. So what's next for us and for Puzzlecraft? We plan the soft launch for June, and it will probably take 2 or 3 months, to see how people play the game, what they do like, what they do not like, to identify the things that should be improved, to work on them, improve them, test them. I think at least 2 or 3 months. So probably the worldwide launch would be somewhere in autumn, and I hope that then you will download Puzzlecraft 2, because it will be a cool game, and we learned a lot, really a lot, and we aim for a game with a long life cycle. And one of the reasons is that we are not sure if we can stand working on another sequel, so we'll just try to keep the game as alive as long as possible, to use the feedback that people will give us to Puzzlecraft 2 to make Puzzlecraft 2 better, because I think it will be easier than making Puzzlecraft 3. And yeah, that's basically all. Thank you. And we are looking for a tester if you're interested. So thank you.